God damn it! Use the button.
The gimbal is.
God damn it!
The gimbal is not on.
What's the point, man?
What is
the point?
What is your problem?
The button, man.
Who's that? Is that Morty?
It's Morty. Yeah, Morty. His arms gets all swole. You don't watch Rick and Morty.
I've seen a few episodes.
They like inject. I don't know if he gets injected with something. I honestly don't remember the beginning of the episode, but he goes to like this different world and like starts beating the shit out of everybody with his arm. But his arm has its own like, its own thing.
Own
like,
entity.
Yeah, it's like its own thing.
It's his own mind.
It's on Morty's arm. It's on his, but he just starts beating the shit out of everybody. He can't stop. Like brutally.
Does Rick like create the arm for him?
Yeah. Well, Rick takes him to this place. I don't remember it. I gotta go back and watch that episode.
Yeah, I watched a few of them, and honestly, they're pretty
whacked
out.
They're pretty weird.
I mean,
but it's still entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting.
It's pretty funny
for the most part.
Anyway,
what
the hell?
Your mic working or?
Yeah, just there we go. It's good right there. I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't matter because it's still working. I'm not jacking with it. It's just the. All right, we're good.
Just gonna leave it there.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So.
Got off track. Started with Morty. Then my mic got all fucked up.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was passion and fulfillment.
Passion and fulfillment. I've been inspired a little bit lately from a few different things.
Goggins.
For one,
see, everyone was talking shit. I read the book, and then I got the audio book, and everybody was like, "You need to calm down." It's just Goggins. I was like, "You don't understand until you read."
What do you mean you need to calm down?
Everybody was like, I was like, this guy's legit. And everybody was like, nah, he's just some regular guy. I'm like, no, dude.
Who's this? Who said they were a regular guy?
Like Ethan and like my sister. I gave my sister the book and she just like couldn't resonate with it at all.
Oh, no way. There's no way.
I don't think it's a book for, like women read it because I've seen people.
Well, young girls, no shot.
I don't think a lot of people can relate. It's hard to relate, but not really.
And it's inappropriate for
kind of
young girls as well.
She's not young. She's 18, man. Like,
I mean, she's young.
Pretty fucked up. Some of the shit.
She's old enough, but yeah, still young. But no, I've been inspired lately. For people that don't know, I've been reading "Can't Hurt Me" by David Goggins. So we referenced the book quite a bit. I know you referenced the book. We referenced Goggins.
That was a while ago. That was like months ago.
Yeah. It's just a crazy dude. I mean, we talked about him on our Inspirations podcast.
Yeah.
Crazy dude. But I want to talk about having passion for your work. And I mean, you saw me go off on that whole rant about like having passion for your work. And, passion can really stem from a lot of things. And I think being passionate about things you enjoy will ultimately create a fulfilling lifestyle for yourself. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? Like, if you're passionate enough for your work, like for me, when I took the strength and conditioning exam, it's considered the gold standard of fucking, strength training and conditioning and weight training of that sort, working with athletes. It's the gold standard. So it's going to be a fucking hard ass exam. Amidst studying for that exam, I had studied for like, what was it? Maybe like half a year.
That was a long time.
It was a long time. I studied for half a year and I fucking bombed it. I bombed the exam. And it was a lot of money. It was expensive.
I mean, yeah, that was the one thing that kept me from taking it. Was like, man,
the price point of it is like $400, $500 just
the
for the exam.
I thought, the thing that when I was studying, I was like, well, if I fail, I don't have to pay. And they're like, no, you got to pay to take the test. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. So you're just taking our money at this point.
Right. And the thing is, the exam is specifically created in such a way where you need the study materials.
Yeah.
To be able to pass it. You cannot pass it from just reading one book.
Their book, yeah.
You cannot. And they say that over and over again. Like, you cannot pass this exam with the book. I was stupid. I didn't see this. I didn't realize that was it. I read the book cover to cover and went into the exam and I fucking bombed it. Next thing you know, I started researching, I started learning, I started trying to develop my knowledge for the exam and the materials on the exam. Ended up dishing over like $1,000 for this exam to try and go and take it again. And I second guessed myself a lot. Amongst that, I was working at Team Express at the time, so doing corporate work and trying to fill my day, with studying. Yeah. And it sucked. Like, I mean, I was always distracted. And I was like, fuck. You know, I had
That's very especially with all of us there.
yeah,
I'm
all
sure
of
it
y'all
was
there. I mean,
jacking
fucking
around
Kevin,
all
the boss, was
day,
there.
Kev.
I mean, you know, there was someone always over. You're supposed to be doing your work.
I mean,
Bottom
yeah,
line.
but it's not a
At the point of what we were getting paid at for doing that work, I didn't give a fuck.
yeah, neither did I. I still don't.
So
But, you know.
yeah, it's a stepping stone to where I want to get. So it's like whatever. I didn't really care much about it. I needed to study.
Mm-hmm.
So failing it the first time fucking destroyed me. I was like, fuck, where do I go? Where do I go from here? So I started researching. You know, I even signed up with my girlfriend for an not online, but in-person class in like Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
When all these fucking places, but like I was trying to determine like why the fuck did I do that? Like I spent over like $1,500 for this exam, and lots of people say, well, yeah, you don't need a certification for this, or you don't need a certification to personally train somebody. You just get a National Academy of Sports Medicine personal training certificate.
No.
That'll be adequate. You can do that. It's like, well, fuck no. Like I know my shit.
Yeah.
I know my shit. I know I can do it. I know I can fucking take this exam. Like I gotta fucking apply myself. I gotta just fucking figure out what this exam wants. So after about like a year and a half of legitimate studying and being beaten down that first time, like I knew that I chalked it up to having a passionate feeling towards this exam and within myself to like go out and fucking try this exam again and passing it. Both sections. Because I failed both. If you pass one, you just need to, you know, retry the other. I failed both and I passed both the second time. And I was, you know, it was crazy. Like I didn't think I was going to pass it. It's a fucking hard ass exam. Lots of people fail it. But what I'm trying to get at is like, ultimately, if it wasn't for my passion for this exam and the content that it required for me to study and apply to what I ultimately want to build later on in life, like I know that I wouldn't be, I'd be stuck in my mind knowing like, holy shit, like I fucking quit.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to do it.
See, it's a thing. Yeah. That's kind of like, that hits me a lot. Like, damn, you didn't even try.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
you kind of try, but then like, you know, like you can, like people can see and be like, well, no, you gave it your best, but like in reality, you're the only one that really knows. Like, well, no, I left some on the table.
Yeah, and then the more you look back on it, the more you think about, well, fuck, I could have studied here. I played video games here. I was watching Netflix here. I was fucking around with Elijah here, and you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean?
Hey, dude.
Yeah, so like, you know, you think back on those things and you're like, fuck, did I really apply myself? Mm-hmm. No, you didn't.
No.
And it's coming to realization with yourself and understanding like, wow, well, fuck, if I couldn't even do this, like, what else, you know, is this going to affect later on in my life? Like I had to go back and figure out a way to pass this exam.
Yeah.
No matter what. That was the bottom line. So going back on everything, like, you know, I think about starting Balance, you know, the business and working with people and doing all those things. And, you know, I'm constantly like clustered with like seeing all these other people making these sorts of posts and getting lots of traction with their posts for whatever they're posting fitness related and getting lots of traction with it. And I look back on mine, I'm like, what the fuck? Where am I going wrong? Why isn't this getting this many likes? And you know, and it starts to really fuck with your mind a little bit. But I think people need to understand that like it's that passion that you have with yourself that is going to ultimately, you know, allow you to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And not too much, obviously, but you know, putting yourself in a position where you can realize that you need to have patience for stuff.
Yeah. And
so I think having patience is important, which is why I brought to you the point that I don't know if I would be happy if I were to just be successful like this.
No.
There's like 20 or 21 years of age,
like I say, there's certain things that you build on a path, on like a
right.
You grow as a person.
That's what I'm saying.
Professionally, you gain skills you didn't think you had.
Right, you meet people. You do all this sort of stuff.
You do all these different things, and that's like kind of something that's built on the process rather than like somebody just handing you a shitload of cash,
or just out of nowhere becoming viral. And so I think even for me, like
I think people that are just like viral, I don't consider that success. In this day and age, it's just not like anybody can do that. You're not special. There's hundreds and hundreds of people. It's funny you mentioned that
because, you know, one of our friends just had a child, and she made this post about having a kid, and the same doctor that delivered her is the same doctor that delivered her kid 25 years later.
That's pretty crazy.
And she posted on Twitter, and she fucking blew up.
Yeah, but like, see what I'm saying? Like, all you did, like, I think that's so fucked, man. Like, that like our society can deem you a celebrity or whatever, an overnight success. Like that's fucking stupid.
It's not that she was an overnight success, and you know what? She's a humble and great person.
No, like, and like
it's crazy how viral, like becoming viral, works.
Yeah, it's like one night, it's like takes one share to share, and it just like retweet or whatever, however you want to say it, to become this like sensation. But like, are you really a sensation, or did you just like post something and just happen
get lucky?
Lucky.
That's what I mean. And so I feel like if I was at that point and something did go viral, like, yeah, no, I wouldn't be upset about it, but like, how humble will I be at that point? Like, I wonder if my mindset would change. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, obviously, like I've been doing this since I was 23.
Yeah.
I turn 25 tomorrow. You know.
Oh yeah.
Almost 2 years. You know, a little less than 2 years, but
right.
You know, I've been trying to figure out everything on my own. Mm-hmm. I don't, like some people talk about getting a mentor and like, oh, you need to have a mentor. You need to read fucking 1,000 books a month and like doing this. And right now, I'm trying to learn how to fucking file taxes. Like. For my business, I have no idea how to do that.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm telling you. Like, I've got to sit here. I'm searching on fucking Google. Where do I go for a professional to get my taxes squared away, so that way, you know, I don't avoid the fucking IRS and get arrested or some bullshit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, you know, as I'm working with people, I keep all my receipts and doing all this stuff, like stuff that you commonly hear. You got to keep receipts, whatever. But like, going back on everything, it's just like, man, if I was just went viral overnight, like, I wonder if that would change me. And I know that if I were to wait 5 to 10 years and not wait, but be patient for that amount of time and gradually build what I'm trying to build, like, I know that my characteristics and my humbleness will allow me to live a more fulfilling life, which is where passion and fulfillment kind of come one, you know, hand in hand with one another. It's the same reason we start this podcast. Like with the podcast, like we understand that we're small. We understand that we're only really, you know, reaching like friends and family right now at this point. We're on episode 34.
We're kind of getting out there a little bit. I see more and more people that I follow, that I did follow, that you know, come to me like, hey, your podcast is great. And I was like, fuck, I didn't even know that you were listening. You listen to it. I didn't even know. Like, wow,
and people do that, and people listen to us, and people, you know, not. I know for one thing, like when I listen to somebody's podcast or YouTube, I'm not first to be like, oh my god, like that was fucking fantastic. Boom, boom, boom.
No,
like,
yeah, you listen to it.
You listen to it, and you're like, wow, this is good. You keep listening to it. And like over the course of time, like, holy shit, I've been listening to you for fucking 4 years. I should have reached out to you before, blah, blah, blah. You say that all the time. So like, I don't get discouraged, but you know, we definitely don't have like fucking tens of thousands of followers either. So it's like, where do you find the middle ground in determining, you know, do you love this? Are you passionate about it so much so that you're able to be patient for it? Mm-hmm. We started this in March.
Yeah.
How many months has it been? April, May, June?
About 3 or 4 months.
3 to 4 months.
Almost 4 months. Yeah. It's great. Yeah, I mean, I think that we're doing, like, honestly, we have over 100 followers, don't we?
We have like a little over 230 followers.
See? Like, that's not bad considering we just started.
Yeah, and most of those are friends.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, though. It's still the fact that people care to, like, look at our shit. Yeah. And we just started.
Right.
So I knew that this wasn't going to be something I was just going to be like, boom.
Right.
And the crazy thing is, you know, I was looking at the other day, we started our podcast, like, days after Mike Stud started his podcast.
Well, Mike Stud's
so we're like, I know, but we're, like, on, like, the same, like we're right there with him. Obviously, he's different. I was just looking at it and I was like, wow.
So, yeah, Mike Stud is a professional.
He's just Mike now.
Okay. Well, Mike, previously named Mike Stud, he was a professional basebal player. So,
no, he wasn't pro.
You know, obviously has a lot more traction.
He wasn't a professional. What is he? He played at Duke. And then he started he'd always been making music, and then he just went music. But I haven't really heard. He released a song last week, but it's been a while. But anyway, he started
how did he kind of like come to fruition? Music. Did he know somebody or like?
He's really good friends with Stroman. They went to school together.
Okay, well that's the thing. Yeah, there you go. Stroman. So he knows Marcus Stroman.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Stroman went deep. Like he's clearly into bigs and like. But
I mean, he's interacted with this individual, and if you're fucking getting work done with
Marcus
Stroman. That's
the cool thing. It's like he knows Marcus Stroman so that he gets to talk to like Travis Kelce and like all these pro baseball players all the time. Yeah, so
that's what I'm saying.
It's kind of a different realm
for us. Like we're in a completely different area.
Yeah.
And so like, if it wasn't for my passion for this and being able to talk about these topics, like I know that I would just sit back and be like, fuck this. Like we're episode 34 in.
I mean, human nature would be like, damn, like we didn't like you want to be bigger, faster, but it's just not going to happen.
Right. But how can I sit here and relate myself to Mike Stud when he knows these sorts of people?
Yeah.
You know, how am I able to come back and look at myself and where we're at now and get kind of humble with that and be like, okay, well, you know what? I'm not in that person's position.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm going to put out the content that I'm putting out now. And this goes for anybody doing something that they want to do right now too. Like this is where we kind of have this conversation as two normal fucking mid 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
And you know, no, you're not Marcus Stroman. No, you're not fucking Mike Stud. Where do you start? It's what we're doing right now.
That's like, see, like that's for me, man. Like I thought that my passion was fitness because I'd been around it for so long. Mm-hmm. Like legitimately, I've been around it for forever. I hung out with trainers all the time.
Right.
And it was kind of like instilled in my head that like, okay, you've been around it forever. You might as well just do it.
Right.
Just you know, like and like inherently, I just knew so much about it without really like trying because
really
I've just been around it forever. Yeah. So I thought this is what I should do. This is what I need to do. This is what this is what I have to do.
Right.
And then it comes down to it, and like as I grow, like I have like all these interests in so many different things.
Loves for different things.
That's what a lot of people get upset about. It's like I tell my parents this all the time. I'm like, yo, baseball was like fun, and it was kind of forced on me to be like, this is what you're gonna do, like because I knew if I stopped playing before I went to college, I would be looked at as like a loser. Like a loser. No, not to like anybody else particularly, but like to my parents. Like they put all this money into it. I played bass. They paid for lessons.
I mean, shit. That's how my dad felt when I fucking
and like that's the thing. And like, of course, like I'm feeling like, of course, I have to play. Like this is my passion, quote unquote. Right. So like when it like, but that's not true. Like that's not what my passion is. Even though I've been, and I feel like probably a lot of people feel that way. They go down that route thinking this is their passion, and it comes to it, and it's like, well, not really.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, that's how I felt like the whole time. Well, I was supposed to take the test, like I said earlier, and I just like was just like, this is not like I'm trying to study, and I just cannot make myself grasp all this information because I just have no desire to do it.
It's tough. Yeah,
I'm being pulled in like 20 different directions right now.
And I think that's where you kind of also have to flip the conversation where like not everything you do related to fitness, even for me, isn't going to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
My process of studying for that exam was fucking awful. I hated it. Like the idea that I have to go home and fucking read a chapter and write down notes and figure out a way to kind of manipulate it in terms of thinking like the exam and what the exam wants to ask. Like that was a fucking lot of work, man. It sucked.
But nothing like, and this is so cliche, but like nothing worth having is like easy, obviously.
Right. Totally. And which is why I say like, I think the patience will be able to pay off in the end. It's much more fulfilling in the end. And it was for me with the exam. Like I'm so happy that I passed it. You know, now is the next step though. You know what I mean? So now I have to learn how can I, you know, apply that to people I work with. Yeah. And you know, the people that reach out to me or that have questions, like how can I, you know, bring that level of knowledge to these people. But yeah, I mean, just bottom line, like it sucked for me to go through all of that. And, you know, not everything that you do regarding the topic that you want to, you know, work with or the content you want to work with is going to be enjoyable. Right. And so that's when it comes down to having a true passion for the content you do. Yeah, you're going to have to do research about marketing. You have to do research about posting. You have to do research on how to make a video and what camera to buy and what mic to buy and what stand to buy and computer to work with and programs to software. Like, holy shit. Like I had to run through like hours and hours of research about how I can create that freaking program. Yeah. And then remember when I tried starting it, it fucking shut off on me. It shut down on me. Like
on day one.
On day one. Like I had people, I'm trying to sign up. Can't. What do you mean? It's been working for me this whole time. And it doesn't fucking work. Fuck. I had to call somebody, go through it. We were about to go work out too. It's like things are going to be a fucking pain in the ass. And I have experienced that firsthand. You know, even from getting terminated, like I ultimately got terminated from, for people that don't know, I got terminated from T Express. They terminated the whole fucking department. So no, I no longer work there anymore.
Terminated the whole company.
Yeah, pretty much, might as well.
Essentially, but
yeah. So like even going through that, I was like, fuck, well, where'd I go from here? Am I still going to get unemployment benefits? The government can't fucking.
The crazy thing is
get together for
like
this.
We've been talking about this for forever, getting let go, but not sure you're going to get let go and like the uncertainty. So you kind of had to like live it. We've been talking about it from a different perspective. Now, like you're put in that perspective, so you have to apply all this stuff that
exactly. And so I'm saying like even for me, and having this thing going on for myself, this side hustle that I have for myself, like now is my time to put all my eggs in one basket for the most part, fitness related, of course speaking, but.
I think, well, man, honestly, like patience is like, I think like
patience,
that's why I had to get it tattooed on me.
Yeah, I think patience is huge.
Because I used to be such an impatient person. I want something, bro. Like I wanted it like tomorrow.
I'm still impatient. Like right now,
I have to like I've gotten a lot better. But like, yeah, I'm sure like for you
Right
want it,
now.
you want it all right now.
Right
Yeah.
now, I don't feel patient, and I have to be honest with myself right now. Like, how do I bring myself back to feeling patient?
Right.
You know, and understanding, well, shit, there's millions of other fucking people out here trying to figure out the same thing I'm trying to figure out, and trying to figure out the situation with unemployment.
That forces a lot of like impatience, forces a lot of people to do things that they don't really want to do, and like
or not waiting long enough to see if something actually works.
Right. That's my thing, man. So like everybody's been telling like this. I wrote the book, and I'm writing other books, but like you have to stop, because then if you force things, because like you want the book to go out and you want it to be big and you want it to be like the best thing ever, but like deep down, like I know it's not ready.
Yeah.
It's not ready.
Yeah.
And like I know that, but everyone's like, you got to put it out. Like, what are you doing? Why are you waiting?
I do also think on the flip side, like you can't just wait until perfection.
No, but like as an artist, as a person that's building something, you know when something's ready. Just like, you know, you had been posting, you know, coming soon. You've been prepping for this.
Right. And even then it wasn't fucking ready.
You could, but like you could have launched that forever ago.
Yeah. I actually had to, so funny story, I actually had to pay for a full month's worth of service for that software, which was $125. It's a software. It's $125 a month. I actually had to
working on it.
Just that full month I paid for it, I was just figuring out how to use it. I hadn't even launched it yet, so I wasn't making anything from it.
That's what I'm saying. But if you were impatient, right, and you wanted to get that return on investment, you could have just straight up said, "Oh, it's open," and you had no fucking idea what you're doing, and unloaded with clients, people trying to do this, people trying to do all kinds of stuff. But like you knew, but like you deep down knew that, hey, this isn't ready yet. It's the same concept with me. I don't, but like I really try my best to not force things and like stay patient. So like right now, like I'm not even focused on that. I'm like doing a bunch of other shit. And like I think it's kind of weird. Like people see it as like.
But I also think that it's kind of adds influence or like creative ability to what like the book that you're writing. So maybe like you started writing the book and then like you kind of went off and started doing some other stuff. Well, like maybe that has like some sort of translation.
Yeah, everything that I do really is like kind of like intertwined in a way. Yeah. But I mean, like I had a passion for music and like making beats and like writing stuff. And it kind of goes away, but like I keep telling myself, and this is something that I've been doing for a long time. I keep telling myself that like it's not good enough. Like you're not gonna do it, and that's something that I think comes from like social media. And a lot of people do that shit. A lot of people do that. Oh, they see the great people doing, it and they're like, I'm never gonna amount to that. Right. No way. I can't compete with that. Yeah. So why try? Yeah. But like it keeps coming back. Like you want to keep trying it and keep trying it. And if there's a reason that it keeps coming back, that you keep wanting to do it, you have to just fucking do it.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, like even within fitness itself, like. There's millions,
I think especially with fitness,
millions of fucking people, millions of fitness influencers, millions of.
That's what I'm saying. So like, there's so many people. If you like, check it. If you're like trying to be like you're trying to be better in fitness, or try to be an influencer, or trying to build your own like, I don't know,
whatever it is,
your Instagram page, and you're trying to be a model, whatever. Like if you go on Instagram, you know how many people like you can just go to the search page, and you just scroll through that. And like, you know how many models come up that are just massive? I'm like, fuck, man. Like,
I also think like a good way to check that is like checking hashtags. So like when it comes to that point and you realize, holy shit, there's fucking a fuck ton of all these models and fitness people and beat maker, whatever it is, book writer. It's important to go to a hashtag, I think, and see how many hashtags have been used for that topic. So if you go in fucking Instagram and type in fitness for hashtag or bodybuilding for hashtag, there's millions of hashtags, millions of people using that hashtag. So I think if you're able to kind of get yourself to work with a niche of people and I mean, starting with hashtags to determine how many people are posting about this particular topic, like go to a hashtag that might not be particularly big, right? But, not small enough to where you're not able to hit it at all, but maybe
good,
work with it.
Yeah, it's good to see the community that you're reaching out to, the people that you're
which
also
is why,
competing with, quote
which
unquote.
is how originality kind of creates. Like it's, and I use A Day to Remember, the band. A Day to Remember is a big example of that. Like they meshed the idea of punk
and like heavy
and pop music with metalcore and just went. That was never created before, and now they're fucking huge. Yeah. But the thing is, like, you got to start something that's in a small niche, and create a platform from that. Yeah. And so, and this goes for anything. I mean, you got to search around and determine what do you fit best with. What do you kind of resonate with the most? I feel like. Yeah. And ultimately from that, like, you can find a passionate thing based off of maybe a subcategory of the things that you're working with, because fitness. At a basic line, like at a baseline, is fucking huge. Like there's such a broad thing. Like, but there's all these other subcategories of it that you can really work with, and it's important to establish like a small niche of your own.
It's immense, man. It's too big to even like comprehend the idea of like fitness. It's huge.
It's massive. Huge. I mean, it can anywhere from fucking CrossFit to
but like
Olympic bobsled.
Because you're not talking about a hobby. You're talking about like a lifestyle,
right?
That these people,
amongst all these different sorts of sports, genders. I mean, just so many things. So it's like. I think at you got to look at what you're doing and determine like what niche you can kind of work with.
I think that just takes me in, like, honestly, like, especially because I know there's a lot of people our age and probably younger that are trying to find out what their passion is.
Right. Which is why it takes a long time for people to kind of establish something for themselves. Got to see what sticks.
Saying. Yeah. Like, I mean, like, especially with like fitness, like I kind of go back to this thing is like, cause like I enjoy fitness. I do it every day. There's not going to be a time in my life where I just stop.
Right.
Because it's just instilled in my brain.
Yeah.
But it's more of a lifestyle than I want it to be like a career. Because there's just so many more facets to me than just
gym fitness. Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I think a lot of people grow up that way. Or they're kind of told and by their parents or whoever, these influences, that this is what you're going to do. You have to do it. It's not the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
I think that's key to, like, you have to try shit. You have to be patient because it's not everything. You're not just going to be like this overnight sensation.
Yeah. And I think coming to the realization, sitting where I'm at today, like I've got to realize, like, even for me, trying to expand my network of people and work with people, and even during a pandemic, because not a lot of people are in the gym right now. Right. They're at home. Whether or not they want to actually do bodyweight workouts at home is a whole completely different story.
Even with the gyms open, people don't want to go. So.
Right. So how do you work with that? How do you kind of determine that? And those are things I'm still researching myself. Yeah. That's, I've got to do that. Of course I see ads of all these people that have made like fucking 8-figure businesses and all this sorts of shit, but, and it's also to say, like, there's not this secret code of things that you got to do, but research and learn and try and see what sticks. Like, it's going to take an effort.
It's going to take time. I think, especially with COVID and everything happening, like this pandemic, like I think people are like, they want to do things, and I think that since there's really nothing else to do, a lot of people are putting a lot of like emphasis on like social media and shit like that, and I think it's discouraging, honestly.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, like, I think that there's just so much happening. Like, so many people are creating and doing all these different things that maybe wouldn't have been happening months before. Especially with fitness, I've seen this. Yeah, like the amount of fitness pages and stuff that's sparked now. Yeah, it's so many. Right. Everyone's doing like podcasts. Podcasts shot up immediately when all this happened. Big. People started getting like fitness pages, like bodyweight. Oh, this is what I do. Blah blah blah. And it's just like now it's almost huge. Repetitive. It's huge. Everyone is doing the same fucking thing. Right. And I think sometimes that can be like discouraging to some people. Be like, well, totally. Fuck, everyone is doing it.
It's discouraging for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying for you. I'm not saying any offense to Balance because I support you guys. I mean, I obviously go with you guys every day, but like, there's hundreds of people like just like you.
Totally, I get it. Yeah, I know, and I see that myself. And so I think, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, even for me, when I see all this stuff going on and all this, interaction with fitness in general, like, I've got to realize and I've got to determine. Okay, I'm seeing all this.
But then, but on the flip side, you have to know, okay, like a lot of these people just got into this business because they're bored. They think that they know it all because they did some research for one night. Yeah, and they want to make this fitness page. Yeah, because this thing will end. Eventually, it will end, and life will go back to the way it was before, and life will return. Right, and these people will realize, oh, I can go do all the shit I was doing before, and they'll just. Yeah. So the real ones just stay. I mean, that's just how. That's how it's going to be. Eventually, if you really, really, really have a passion for something, it'll continue to stay there.
That's where I'm trying to get at. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's exactly where I was trying to lead up to. Yes. So I totally see that. Lots of other people. I mean, I'm not blind to it. Not blind. No, definitely not. But now it's come to the point. Like, look, I've started this whole thing. I'm doing this whole thing. Now it's time to determine. What is the niche? What's going to stick now? Marketing isn't just putting one thing out and like, okay, boom, now we got sales. That's it. I wish it was that easy. It's not that easy. No. And I've learned that the hard way. Yeah. And, starting with a few $100 here and there, like to determine what people like, what people don't like, you're going to be.
And that's, man, to be honest with you, that's why, like, me marketing, for the job that I have, like I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I've done the research. I've checked our competitors. Like you have to change up
I got
content.
I got a sponsor dad from East Bay
Yeah.
for the new LeBron James
Yeah.
Nike tennis shoe. And I was immediately, I don't even fucking play basketball.
You
but
want to look at it, right?
I wanted to look at that shit.
That's what I'm saying.
It was
Like
a
shit like
badass
that.
shoe.
Like you have to like give appeal to your
Yeah.
audience. Like there's so much you have to do.
Yeah.
And like when people aren't willing to like let you take the wheel or like try or like that's what I mean. Kind of going off topic, but I mean like, dude, like
It's the same thing.
yeah, marketing. It's like you got to be creative. You got to really
gotta
get
be
in.
fucking
You got to
creative,
really
man.
stop and like look at your audience, who you're appealing to, and all that stuff to
Yeah.
see what's gonna
Totally.
get people to get attracted to your stuff.
Yeah. And even with a low budget, like
Mhm.
for someone like me who doesn't
think
make
even-
millions of dollars a year,
I
like
think you know, even with a low budget to no budget, you can make shit happen.
sure. And
you know,
I mean, I currently work with people right now, and I've been able to reach those people
Mhm.
with a low budget.
yeah,
You know, it has sparked something for me. There is
Yeah.
still something going on, and
Yeah.
I'm working with a good amount of people. Like,
Mhm.
of course, I want to grow it and get bigger. You know, it's not like I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like, yeah, like you're still able to work with people, and you realize that there's still
Mhm.
effort, and there's still platforms that spread your information organically.
Yeah.
It's the process of learning what sticks through those organic posts and social media posts and
Mhm.
and certain marketing things and what does what. Like, you know, even if you're gonna grab one or two people here, that's still gonna allow you to kind of save and budget for future marketing promotions you know, later on.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, even now for me, like, you got to take that time. Like, it's gonna take time.
Yeah.
And it's hard to kind of come to terms with that. And it's a matter of being passionate with your work.
Yeah.
So much so that you're able
Absolutely.
to trial and error, and
I
fail multiple
I mean,
times.
yeah, you have, and like on top of that, like if you have a passion, man, you have to also put yourself in a position to succeed, man, and like limit distractions. Like
Sure.
if you're really focused on doing something, you have to limit your distractions and put yourself in a position to
Yeah.
succeed. Absolutely.
And a good thing, like obviously considering the pandemic and everything, but a good thing that I've gotten from the pandemic is it has allowed me to save.
yeah,
It has
save
allowed
money.
me to save and
Yeah.
invest in my work. Whether that's just by buying a book or
Mhm.
going through marketing and paying for promos.
Yeah.
Like, you got to use certain things to your advantage, and like it all comes back to like your ability to be passionate with your work.
Mhm.
If you're truly passionate, you will find a way.
Yeah.
And even sitting right now in this position that I'm at, like, is there any point of me stopping? No. Am I seeing like a huge amount of growth? No, but I'm still seeing small kind of hits here and there. But
Well, I think for sure. It's
just-
no matter what's gonna hit, you're just gonna keep you're just gonna
Yeah.
keep doing it anyway.
yeah,
you know what I
totally.
mean? That's kind of like, man, like, so I had this is kind of the same concept, but like limiting distractions and shit like that. I mean, like, I got rid of my social media today, by the way, all of it. No, but I like really did it.
Okay, well,
Like honestly, like so I had been thinking about making beats and like writing music, like literally like 2 weeks before
Mhm.
Logic released his album.
Mhm.
And like now, like since I've been looking at all this stuff, all I see are these people making music and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, Jesus Christ, like it's all really good. I'm like, fuck.
where do you?
Why
stand?
do I try?
Yeah.
Like, why am I gonna try? So I legit was just like, and like every night I'm just scrolling of like seeing all this stuff.
Mhm.
So I was like, this is a distraction. Like last night I had meant to sit down and like fix the book, and it's such a distraction for some reason. I just can't like get away from like scrolling and looking through shit.
Mhm.
So I thought I'm just gonna get rid of it.
Yeah.
And like really focus on like getting it done and like making sure
Yeah,
I
you
do
got
it.
to.
And like you can't really be like focused on all the other shit and all the other people
Mhm.
creating, no matter how good it is. And like not taking away from them.
Right.
So, like you're not gonna go bash someone else's company
No,
for
not at
no
all.
reason. It's the same like, but the idea is to like kind of just like you got to focus to do it no matter what else is happening. And if you put it out there and it bombs and it fails, like well you at least tried it. You gave
Yeah, and then you're gonna try something else. And you're gonna try something else.
It's like
and you're
right,
gonna try
well, what's
something
next?
else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even with the people that I do see that are like super successful or gotten a huge traction of followers very quickly, like I think it doesn't even hurt to reach out to those people and
No.
comment something and be like, "Wow, I really enjoy where you've come, since
your story,
blah blah blah
whatever
blah
it is,
blah."
yeah.
Like, I love the way like interact with people.
Mhm.
Like you got to interact with people. People aren't going to associate with you unless you interact with them.
Right.
I know you like deleted your social media, but like even if it's coming down to you, like that's what you need to do to focus on this.
Yeah,
beat
and
that you wanna
everyone's
create.
different. Yeah, I mean everyone's different.
Yeah,
Like, and
and
it's
then-
not gonna be forever. It's like
Right,
I'll come
exactly. So
back,
like later
and
on when you
yeah.
start downloading it,
Yeah.
and you put your content up there and all that sort of stuff, like it's important to interact with those that
Yeah.
maybe bigger than you, smaller than you, anywhere in between.
Yeah. I think that absolutely. I think it's important. But like for right now, like in my perspective, like I don't have anything to like give to promote to anybody to say anything. So it's like, why wouldn't I just temporarily get rid of the distraction, focus, and then when time comes, like you have something to put out, you have something to like, you know, like I did this. How about you? Like I like how you did this. Check out my, and like it just kind of keep going. But like there's nothing to do that right now with. Yeah. So it's like limit it and just focus and just
and that can inevitably apply a lot of pressure. On you if you are on social. Like for me, like I have a pressure to, you know, put content out every single day, and you know it's hard.
Yeah, I can feel that because it's like, well, if I don't post today, like people may like look away from me. Like you have to feel like you have to.
It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of fucking pressure for sure. Like you know, it might just be like putting a picture on and putting like words, but like you want to make your words have value, and like meaning. You want to draw eyes, and draw eyes and have authentic meaning for what you're trying to do and who you are, and like it's a lot of fucking work sitting there and be like, okay, I got this picture. It's not just the picture, but what do I post? Yeah, you know, I can't just be posting the same stale information every single day.
Yeah, because then you lose track.
And I am a product of that sometimes. Like I'm like, fuck, I need to revamp something. I could do something different. Yeah, you know. So it's like, fuck, like where do I go from here? You like start researching, start learning about other people. It doesn't even need to be through social media, but learn through what other people's stories are and how they've got to where they got to, and you know all this sort of stuff. Like there's so many different avenues of learning. You know how you can expand your network of things that you're trying to do. So, but at the bottom of it, I think it just comes down to having a lot of passion for your work. You got to have a lot of passion for it because there's going to be days where you feel like, holy shit, this is fucking fantastic. Like, you know, I released the fucking thing and 5 seconds later, boom, it could fucking crash.
That's pretty crazy, man. Like
it can crash.
But like, I think people like, you have to like, just like, and people don't do their passions or chase like their like dreams because they're worried about shit that doesn't even matter. Like you're really gonna let somebody like, and that's kind of the thing, like where everything stems from now is people like posting and doing stuff on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. Like, are you really gonna let someone like if someone you thought was your friend is really gonna trash you? Like we say this all the time. Yeah. If someone's gonna trash you for you putting out what like you believe in or what you love or what you like to do, like are they really? Do you really give a shit? Like that's kind of my thing, man. Like people are scared to like do their passions and like show what they do, even though like they bleed it and like they want to do it so bad. You have to just not give a fuck. Yeah, like that's like I see it all. We say it all the time, man. Like that's the key. Like
that and
because if not, you'll live in regret. You'll live like 20 years from now. You'll be working at your 9 to 5 and like, well,
I probably gave up too early.
Gave up way too early, and like people are gonna think, well, no, you tried, you gave it your all, but like I said, like we said at the beginning, it's like you're the only person who's gonna know. Yeah, it's the same thing. Like when we go to the gym, it's like you can go and like half-ass it, like you'll get no gains.
Yeah, it's like, why am I getting gains? Like, fuck, well, I ate this past weekend. I didn't track this. I didn't do this. I didn't work out this.
That's kind of thing. Like people go to the gym. Like I have people like on the weekends when I go with my other people to the gym. You know what I'm talking about? And like they're just like, you know, they look the same, and they're wondering why they look the same. And I'm like, but you're not really trying. And it's like, but like no one else can tell you that, right? You may go to the gym and act like you're sweaty and tired and you did it all, but like deep down, like, did you really? Yeah. Yeah. That's
I also think when people get to the point where they are trying to do something and they finally feel a sense of failure or they do fail ultimately, like people always say it's like, oh, well, I'll be fine if I fail this and this and that, this and this and that. Like, yeah, I'm totally going to try it.
It's a fallback to say like, well, if I fail, oh well, you know, but it's like you can't like that. Number one, you've already lost. You're already thinking about failing.
But at the same time, people like think that they're ready to fail, and then they actually end up failing, and then they completely quit without getting back up. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. So like, you finally get the feeling of what it feels like to fail at something. Yeah, and people don't know how to cope with that, and people don't know how to understand how that feels if they're not truly passionate about something. And once they experience that, they're like, "Holy shit, this fucking sucks. I'm never doing this again." It's like, bro, that's what it is. Yeah. That's the game. Like, like me failing the exam was part of the game. I had to come to some sort of realization that
like there's no way that didn't jack with your head.
Bro, it fucked me up.
Oh, I know.
I came out of that exam seeing 2 failures after I had studied for like 6 months after they told me all you really need is 3 months. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like fucked with my head. I was like, fuck, I just spent $400 on this thing. I spent $200 on this book. I spent however many hours studying for this thing and I fucking bombed it. Yeah. You know, that just, it crushed me. It fucking crushed me.
I bet like that, but like that's part of the game, man. That's like
it is.
And if like, and the idea was like, if it was really for you, If it wasn't for you, you would have said, you know what?
Fuck.
I don't care. I'm done. I gave
Yeah.
it all I had.
Who knows where I would have been if I wouldn't have gone back and taken the exam? Like, would have continued with the?
That's what I'm saying. But like, it was in you to keep going, man. So like, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, like, you got to understand what it feels like to feel a sense of failure, and actually feel it and get back out of it. Not just say like, oh, I know what it feels like. Yeah, I got out of this and this and that. No, that's not real failure, man. Like getting fucking knocked on your fucking face. Like, what does that feel like? You spent this amount of money, this amount of time on this fucking thing, and you fucking bomb the shit out of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one really knows how to feel it unless you actually feel it.
Yeah.
So it's like there's different tiers of failure, but like falling on your fucking face, or like just completely bombing something, or bombing an exam, or a fucking game you play in and you just fucking played like shit, or a tryout, whatever it is, like
sports, whatever,
sports, like, anything.
Like, but I think that's the good thing about baseball, man. Like us playing baseball, like, you know how many times you prep, honestly, and you just like, I got this. Like, you go out in the game, you're like, I'm ready to go, and you just get fucking rocked, and it's just like, fuck, man. Like, you know how many times that happens though?
All the time.
And it's just like, I think that like baseball low-key, I think is one of the greatest sports because it like humbles your ass so fucking fast, bro. You can go out and throw a no-hitter.
But on the flip side, like, it does humble your ass, but you've got a fucking team behind you that backs you and gets you the fuck back up.
I think it's so crazy, man, how like you can see guys that go out there and throw no-hitters and they think they're the greatest thing that's ever happened, come out the next game and give up, don't make it out of the first.
Right.
It's a crazy game, man.
Yeah.
And I think it teaches you so
much.
much.
I think that honestly, that game translate to fucking life.
Yeah,
man.
Dude. Like,
one fucking month you can be like, boom, boom, boom. You're doing this, and this. Start this, and then the following month you just fucking shit the bed.
Yeah, you're just like, I mean, but like, honestly, the shit that I've had in my life plus baseball, like little shit doesn't even bother me, bro. I'm just like, whatever. Yeah. Like,
you learn to cope with it.
Shit happens,
the smaller shit, you learn to cope with it, and you're like, well, shit happens, and you get back up. And then you just like, when you really fucking shit the bed, like fucking just whatever it is, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's important to not only be able to pull yourself back up, but like establish like an environment and an atmosphere and a team that can also get you back up as well. Like having good friends, you know, around you, good people you associate with, people that are in the same position as you or trying to start a thing like you are, not necessarily fitness related or
whatever,
you know,
it is.
making
it could be
a book,
anything.
but like anybody.
Yeah.
I feel like, dude, if you're able to have that on your side and have those people around you, like, you're going to end up eating better. You're going to end up getting better sleep. You're going to end up being more productive. You're going to end up just fucking killing it. Even after you fucking fall on your face. It's the same with being on a team, being on a baseball team, being on a fucking basketball team, football, anything.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to learn what it's like to shit the bed, and you got a team behind you who's going to pick you back up. Like, fuck. That's it. That's the game. And I've experienced that firsthand.
Everybody's experienced. I mean,
yeah, to a certain extent. Obviously, other
extent.
people have more so than others, and other people less, you know, than others. But like, yeah, I know what it fucking feels like. And even right now, it feels like, well, shit, I'm kind of just like stale. It
feels like you're stagnant.
I'm stagnant. Yes,
yeah.
That's a good way to put it. I'm just like stagnant. And so it's like,
and that's what I felt, man. Like, that's what I felt like. I felt like I was always like stopping and like too busy worried about other shit.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like, I just got to eliminate
you gotta
all my
push
distractions.
the fucking barrier.
And just like, I got to just make this. Cause it was just like, you're getting stopped in so many different directions. Like, you start going something and you see this and you're like, oh man, I don't know about that. Then you're like, oh, and then you go somewhere here and you're like, oh, I see that. And I'm like, oh man, I don't know. And it's just like, just eliminate and just like
it.
focus, man. Cause if not, you're just going to sit in the same fucking spot.
You're not getting
nowhere.
Not get anywhere. Yeah, you are going to be officially stagnant at that point because you're literally not doing anything.
Yeah, you're just stuck. Like, it's just like, I'd rather just not deal with that.
But that's all I got to fucking say.
All right. Get out of here. I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah, we're running close on time, but yeah, I think we hit a lot of really good points. A lot of things that we've experienced in our life that has affected us on our own, and there's many other things. Like, I think another really good point, just wrapping it up, is like, we hear the idea about doubling down on your strengths, but also learning to double down on your fucking weaknesses. Like learning how to do fucking taxes and shit.
What Goggins said?
No, this was
See, it's kind of crazy. See, Goggins tells you to exploit your weaknesses and better yourself there.
Right.
So then you got guys like Garrick V who says, fuck your weaknesses, just focus on your strengths. So it's kind of like
you got to find what works for you.
Yeah.
That's
two
it.
Different complete mindsets. Just find that, or find the sweet spot in between both. Like,
right. And like, you can't just listen to one man's word and follow that word, which is why you can't just be looking at an influencer and getting all this information and be doing it step by step. There is no step by step to life.
Yeah.
You got to fucking just go through it. All right, this is what worked for me. This is probably not what's going to work for you, but I can give you the kind of the tools to work with to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. There it is.
That's it.
That's it.
All right, this episode is going to come out on tomorrow.
Friday.
My birthday.
31st.
So, yeah, it'll officially be my birthday. So, wish me a happy birthday.
Bitch.
Yeah. Wish me a happy birthday. Yeah, you can find us on all platforms. We'll post this one on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube if you want to watch the video. Yeah, we're gonna try to interact with some of y'all some of these episodes, and if you got a particular failure in your life that you experienced, let us know. Like, how were you able to overcome it?
Yeah.
What are you doing now? Like, how are you able to push past that failure? Did you give up and quit? Did you give up and quit and not try anything else? Like, and why? Why did you do that? We want to interact with y'all and see what your story is. So, let us know in the comments. Shoot us a message. Let us know what you think. Let us know if there's any particular topics you want to talk about as well. This one kind of came into fruition from hearing some other podcasts I've been listening to and, reflecting on my own life, and of course Elijah reflecting on his. But let us know what you think. This will be 34.
Yeah.
July 31st. So appreciate y'all for listening. Make sure you give us a follow on our Instagram handles, Twitter. We'll post on Twitter, TikTok,
everywhere. It's everywhere. I mean,
we're everywhere.
Everywhere you can find shit, we're there.
We're there. Podbean. Podbean. All right. We appreciate you guys. Thank y'all.